My name is Alan Conte and my practice explores waste. In writing my proposal for position and practice, I discovered there is a waste angle to all the global problems we face. It became clear that one of the solutions to many of the issues that threatens our planet and survival is to reduce and properly manage the waste we generate. My project Broken Tool exploits the inherent narrative properties of waste to provide the viewer with the opportunity to consider how these objects functioned or no longer function and how people use them to make sense of the world. In Time and Being, Martin Heidegger asserts that we discover unusability not by looking and ascertaining properties, but rather by paying attention to the dealing in which we use it. When we discover its unusability, the thing becomes conspicuous. William Venet interpreted it metaphorically as waste being the tire mark that one sees on the road surface. Like the tire mark, waste tells us about an event that has passed, a trace of time residue that needs to be forensically assessed. At the start of the project, I looked at how popular brands like Nike and Adidas present image to customers on their websites. The format is similar to Walker Evans' Beauties of the Common Tool, but instead of celebrating a new product or design, as in advertising an Evans portfolio, I wanted to display waste. However, this approach was closely related to the one I used in Positions and Practice, where I created a catalog of waste items with text providing information about their use, material, and origin. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to explore a new way of approaching waste, and with the help of my tutor and feedback from the weekly webinars, I decided on a still life approach. A still life approach allows me to stay with my original concept while experimenting with my work. As Janet May writes in her project statement for Tech Vanitas, contemporary still life exists in advertising imagery. The newest gadget is carefully styled and photographed to convince potential owners of technological ascension. Therefore, the still life approach allows me to present my discarded items similar to how advertisers show new products to potential customers. This approach, I believe, creates a link between consumption and waste, and more so when done in the Vanitas style of painting. The Vanitas style of painting of the 17th century is also appropriate for this project because Vanitas images intend to combine the complexity of the ontological difference between being and nothingness with the impenetrable passing of time and the inevitability of death. In Christianity, death means both the instant at which biological time stops and a transitory stage on the way to the continuum of eternity where time does not exist. This observation is similar to Venet's description of waste as a change of some kind. The change offers a plateau to assess the subject of waste itself and the ontological status of material things in general. By lingering beyond an end, by being both a material continuity and a temporal discontinuity, waste invites a quality of retrospection felt to be a function of waste and its cause. My key artistic influences are the Swiss duo Peter Fischli and David Wise, and Janet May. In A Quiet Afternoon, Fischli and Wise balanced an upturned chair on a vase, supporting another chair leaning backwards. The arrangement is held in place by a cardboard pipe and a bottle on the other end, barely keeping the structure from falling. As the curator Nat Trotman comments, it is this transitory moment of fragile suspension that Fischli and Wise were after. An instant when gravity is defied, even just long enough for the artist to press the camera shutter button. I want to use this concept of fragility and suspense in broken tools to signify the relationship between economic growth and waste production. In an interview with Daniel Judge about Tech Vanitas, Janet May said she planned her project to address the contemporary tension between the desire for and the anxiety about technology. Vanitas' painting struck her as an ideal point of comparison. Tech Vanitas, she said, was inspired by the need to keep up with ever-changing technology and the disposal of the obsolete. The stacking of objects in the series is meant to promote anxiety in the viewer. In the horizontal images of the series, she achieved the same effect by including more and more gadgets and a cluttered composition. I am looking at triggering this same response with my photograph in this series. Coming into this project, I viewed waste as a problem through its environmental impact. This view has expanded through my research for this module, as I now consider waste an object. Objects we call waste can have a peculiarly telescopic effect on our imagination. They seem to disclose ways of living and permit different ways of saying. In this sense, waste objects are similar to photographs. It is a snapshot of a period of time. This property of waste makes it useful in archaeology, where it tells us how past generations lived. Although this might suggest an intrinsic value to waste, I intend to exploit the inherent properties of waste as objects, specifically its ability to invite retrospection. Doing so, I hope to pose the question, what will future generations make of the waste we leave behind?